I'm live. Oh my god. Oh wait, I need to share out the stream link, don't I? Do 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 do. Let's see. I go here to my page. Go there. Tweet this out. And let's see what else. Oh, Discord. Oh, don't do that, computer. Going lice now. Yes, totally. Now let's see if someone shows up. Will there be people or will there not be? If not, this is going to be an interesting study session. It's my hairs are doing all right. Like, this side would get a bit thicker. So as I wait for people, if they come, I wonder how long I should give it. It's only been 2 minutes. Oh, there's someone. There are 2 people. Oh my god. 2 people showed up. I am just shocked. Hi, welcome to the stream. I'm combing my hair. Totally not nervous. Not nervous at all. Yeah, totally not. I should title this Calon does her hair. No, I'm kidding. Hey Jen, how's it going? For me it's been it's been a bit of a mess really, but I'm managing. Let's see. Partial hospitalization has been fun. It's been an experience. Have a week done, another week to go down. It's very long, now that I think about it. Will other people show up? That's good. I'm glad you're doing well, Jen. Yeah, I've been having my own sort of mental health crises, so we'll talk a little bit about that. Well, not about what led up to it, but so far my experience, because that's always an important thing to talk about. Just waiting to see if other people show up. But yeah, partial hospitalization, might as well, I guess, talk about some of it. I can update people as they come in. Partial hospitalization has been interesting. It's a lot of it's basically kind of like a sort of like a little bit of a class where they basically just take you through, say, here, this is what boundaries are, stuff of that nature, boundaries, communication, that kind of stuff. And then they get you to apply it. I appreciate it, Jen. They get you to apply it, and to whatever sort of situation is on your mind. And they also do like consistent check-ins. Like they want to make sure you're going to make it to the next session, which, by the way, it's 5 days a week, 9 to 1, which is kind of wish it would be from like 10 to 2, but oh well. I have to wake up early. And yeah, it's an experience, and it can be a bit boring, but usually it's been helpful. Been helpful. Yeah, it is a lot of time. Like it's, and they want you usually to be that present for the entire thing. So there's that aspect of it too. Like they don't like it. Like there's a reason why they have like very breaks in between like sections. And yeah, usually the normal schedule is we just talk with the counselor. Sometimes a nurse comes in, an occupational therapist, which apparently they do a lot more than I thought. Yes, it is actually helping. They're basically, they bully you into getting better. Let's see. We also have a chaplain come in, and the chaplain has been interesting to me mainly because obviously I'm a heathen, so I don't come from like a Christian background. And so that's always fun and whatnot. Mainly, but the way he approaches is kind of non-denominational. Like there are obviously a lot of statements I'm not going to agree with. Like for me, the past is what shapes the present and whatnot, that kind of stuff. But otherwise, yeah, the biggest thing is, of course, when the Christians go off. It's like, oh, okay, that's fine. That's your faith, not mine. And yeah, so pretty much yes, they will bully you into getting better. Yes. Which is good. Oh, we have another viewer. Yay. 2 viewers. It's a miracle. So, yeah, that's my sort of trying to think of what else I can really say, because I'm not going to say like what individual sessions were. There's a chaplain, it's a nurse who comes in to check on our medications. Oh yeah, occupational therapists do a lot more than what I was thinking they did. Like I thought it was more just like sometimes physical therapy, but they apparently have a broad brush of things that they do. Broad brush. I like that alliteration. Okay. I appreciate that, Jen. Yeah, I'm glad that there are still some people who care about me. Even if like the voices in my head would tell me differently, which thankfully, that's another thing I can update people about. The auditory hallucinations have like really gone down and are very like, I guess, mute. Like right now I don't hear any voices, so yay for the Abilify finally working. It's like I have my own psyche back. Oh, gods. Drink a bit too much of the meat of poetry. What else? So, yeah. Yeah, it's really hard to like function when you have people whose voices you know screaming at you in your own head and making you like think certain things. Like, yeah. It was bad. Very bad. But yeah, so now I'm just rehashing. It's basically what it all amounts to is a review of like what boundaries are, or when boundaries are to be respected, and when they're not. Which, for the record, by the way, really the only time you don't respect boundaries is, of course, when there is like a crisis, kind of like that scene in Hitchcock where he asks the woman, "Can I pick you up? I don't want to come across as X, Y, or Z." And the woman's like, "Just get me the fuck out of here." Those are the kinds of situations. So yeah, 2 viewers. Have I really been streaming for 10 minutes? Huh. So yeah, the other part of, I guess, this is that I'm going to announce that I'm going to be learning Sanskrit quite publicly. I figured it'd be good for, people who want to follow along and learn a language with me. I think that would be a fun little thing. Now, how exactly am I going to pull that off? Well, that's a good question. Like, I do have a book. I have this book right here. Teach Yourself Sanskrit by Michael Coulson. I assume it's pronounced Coulson. Things come to things. I'll just simply say it's Kusen. We'll use Sanskrit pronunciation there. And it's not an easy language. I hate to break that to you. Those who might have hoped so. It's not Chinese. Okay, I shouldn't go off on Chinese like that. Chinese isn't like, to me, it's not as hard as people say it is. You just have to get used to the tones. There are obviously some semantic stuff and classifiers that are really important that you have to get down, but I think once you get the flow of it, it's not too difficult. Sanskrit, on the other hand, well, what do we have here? Let's see. We have chapter 1. Oh, fun. We have a new alphabet, the Nagari alphabet. So, let's see. Is there any way? And yes, I am totally doing this off the fly. Is there any way on YouTube Studios to actually show images? Send feedback, edit. I guess not. So I'm just gonna have to use my iPad, of course. Wikipedia has a pretty good phonological chart. And yes, this is what I spend my day doing. Mostly. That and playing video games. Okay, so let's see. This is gonna look fun. Really? You're gonna do that to me? Like, come on. Ooh, that looks bright. Is that going to show? Yes, it is. So, and it's reversed for me. That is the Devanagari alphabet. Now, if you go to that page on Wikipedia, you'll see various classifications. Yes, off the fly is my guard too. OADD. So what we have here is a very sort of symmetric system and a distinction between Alpaprana and Mahaprana. Are those the Apaprana and Mahaprana? This corresponds to a difference. Oh, hey, we have free people. Hi, free people. We're doing Sanskrit. Because I figured, why not? Watch it go down to one person. Oh, two people. All right, so Apaprana. And this is under another category called Akosa. Or is it Agosha? I think it's Agosha. So Apaprana refers to what we would refer to as unaspirated consonants in English. So what is aspiration? Aspiration is a little puff of air that we tend to use, for example, in the word top. It's not top, it's top. But both of those T's are what are called voiceless or akosa. Now, what is a voice versus a voiceless phoneme? A voice phoneme means you use your throat. So, zzz, and if you touch like zzz right here, you're going to feel the vibration. When you feel that vibration, that means it's voiced. When you don't, that means it's unvoiced. So, s versus z is an example. Now, in Sanskrit here, the first distinction is between that which is aspirated versus that which is unaspirated. Unaspirated. The way actually, the exercise that I recall, especially reading in Chinese, because Chinese makes this contrast too. In fact, this is the only contrast in consonantal phonemes it makes, is if you put up a piece of paper, make sure I'm not accidentally touching medical records here. Okay. And p. I don't know if you can see it. If you say puff, you'll feel the paper move, whereas if you say spell, you will notice that the paper doesn't move. And that's because the P in spell, bell, is unaspirated. I hope I'm making sense so far. If I'm not, let me know, and I will clarify to the best of my ability. Now, we have both of the, so what consonants do we have here that are unaspirated versus aspirated? Well, we have ka, chka here, which is like the K in sky, In fact, in English, one good way to learn to produce these consonants is to imagine that there's an S right before you pronounce the consonant. Because S plus a consonant in English is usually going to be unaspirated. So sky, k, k, k. Not ka, but ka. So in Sanskrit, we have sky, ka. We have cha, or it's a little bit, this one's a little bit more difficult for me. So like cha, cha. And then we have ka, which is what's referred to as a retroflex. Now, we don't really have retroflex consonants unless you speak some dialects of American English. But basically, you take your tongue and you put it up there towards your soft palate, ka, as opposed to ta. It might take a while to get the difference down, but it's there. And then we have the dantya, which, by the way, dantya in Sanskrit means dental, teeth. So like Latin dans and various like Romance languages also have sort of that root. And there you just simply use your teeth to pronounce ta, ta. And then we have the ostia, which is your labial. So that means you just simply put your two lips together and pronounce pa. Pretty simple. Just takes a lot of practice. And once you get it down, it'll become second nature, and you'll start noticing sounds that you didn't notice were there before. So, of course, for the Mahaprana, which basically means so Apaprana means without prana. Trying to pronounce that retroflex incorrectly. Mahaprana means with great breath. So ka, cha, ta, ta, pa. That is the Mahaprana. Now, of course, each of these have different letters because these are important distinctions, phonemic distinctions within Sanskrit. And of course, we move to what are called the Gosha. The Gosha. The Gosha, I think that's correct. Well, they actually mirror the Apaprana that we referred to previously, except this time they're voiced, so you're going to feel it right here in your throat. So ga, not ga, ja, or da, or da, or ba. These are pretty simple. They're the equivalent in English. And of course, because we have an Apaprana, we have to have, hey, Critical Cripple, how's it going? We're doing Sanskrit right now. It's a ton of fun. I'm surprised 4 people are here to watch me talk about phonology. This is exciting. So, of course, previously I referred to Apaprana. And because there's an Apaprana in the Gosha, or the voice category, that means there has to be a Mahaprana. And the Mahaprana is, well, again, that's good. I can relate. I'm pretty much in the same boat. How have I been? Terrible, but getting better. So, what do we have here? So we have ga, cha, da, da, ba. Now, of course, I'm exaggerating it a little bit there to try to make it clear to you that that the Mahaprana here is, of course, with that H sound, or the little breath of air that you pronounce the aspiration. And that leaves one other sort of interesting category, which are generally like your liminal, so to speak, or your nasal. Basically other. So we have na, nya, n, na, ma. And yes, Sanskrit has 4 different ends, basically. But they're not that difficult once you realize what exactly they are. So, for example, the first one is as in sung. The second one is a palatal, so like an onion. Then the third one is retroflex, and then of course you have your standard dantia in, which is just n. Since today, mostly, I do have a few. I will admit I cheated a little bit, and I have a few notes in my notebook that go through and do some basic verb conjugations and whatnot. But otherwise, you get to learn this with me, which is kind of the whole point of this series. So, yeah. Because I speak a number of languages already, I tend to have a method that works for me. And so I figured, why not see if it works for anyone else, or if anyone else wants to join on in. And so finally, for the last part of this column, we have ma, which is just simply an im, which is fun. Я говорю по-русски, ich spreche Deutsch, hablo español, je parle un peu français, local latine, so Russian, German, French, Latin, Spanish, English too. I do think I speak that. I wish I were. But my college discontinued that program right when I came in. But I do have a linguistics background, so to speak. Yeah, it's an unfortunate thing. I appreciate that. I try my best. Yeah, it does suck. But what doesn't suck, whoops, aside from my comb falling, don't fall, comb. I need you. You're like one of the key things that makes everything possible. This is the universe's comb. Comb. Comb is a weird word. But anyhow, so yes, the rest of the consonants there don't really seem that difficult. It's just ha, ya, ra, la, va, wa. Which, by the way, this bilabial w, it's in like a lot of languages. I think I did watch that series actually. Now that I think about it, it does. It's the universal cone. All right, and so for the last three consonants, we have sh, sh, and sa, which you have a palatal S, so a sa, so a sh, a retroflex S, sh, and then the normal dental S. Which hopefully this all makes sense to you guys. If there are any questions, please feel free to stop me. Because I am actually familiar with these concepts. So to me, like charts like that are very helpful. But I know not everyone is like has delved into linguistics as far as I have. And yes, we did just cover all the consonants of Devanagari. I'm not A. Yeah, hopefully everything I said has been pretty clear. No, don't play music. I don't want to get copyright struck. I feel that a lot of people aren't until they actually study linguistics, and then they find out that, hey, this isn't what I thought it was before. Grammar is descriptive, not prescriptive. Oh my God. Yeah, I feel that too. That is definitely a problem that I've run into. Also, well, that and also figuring out, like, is it possible for me to, like, I'll have to figure that out for some test streams. But yeah, that is all of the consonants. And it's going to get a little more complex from here. And I also need to figure out how to basically be able to like pop stuff up. I think maybe I'd have to use OBS or something. I need to be a fancier streamer. But anyhow, this has gone on for about 30 minutes. I'm excited that 4 viewers showed up. And thank you all for coming. It's been great. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.